All right, first off, we said UTEP's a really good basketball team. Probably the toughest, most aggressive team in this league. You can look back, every game they've played, they've been in. They've lost some tight ones. They came in here leading this league in several categories, or first or second. Offensive rebounding, free throws attempt, and turnovers, scoring in transition. We checked all three of those boxes tonight, and we said that for the game, if we could win the rebound war and the free throw war, we're going to win the game. And we did that. We out-rebounded them 39 to 35. Made 19 free throws. They made 12. That's a huge stat. A lot of individual guys played terrific. McKnight was a game-time decision. As I said after the game, we didn't have a press conference Friday. Didn't know if he could go or not go. He wasn't able to go through scouting report yesterday, but we knew if there's a young man ever can find a way to go, it was going to be him, and he did. And it would have been another challenge without him. Dante, taking advantage of the opportunity to step in there and play. It was a different kind of game tonight. Thursday night it was team zone to some, had some freedom, but tonight they played man. They're really good man, but we was able to move him around enough, just let him get that shot off. And that's the one thing when he's got it going, he can do. As I told him, we know you can do that. We'll keep challenging to defend, keep challenging to rebound. And that's 2 nights in a row, he's got 7 rebounds each night. E-Man was big. All those guys are big. Jamar, 11 rebounds, 6 blocks. I thought Jairus made some big plays in that second half. Rawls gave us some points. It was a great team effort. And that's what we had to have a chance to win this game tonight. Questions?
Rick, you guys stayed with the same 5 for, I think, the first 12 minutes of the second half. That was working. I mean, honestly.
Well, I'm glad you liked that, Ted. So you're going to ask, why did you let those guys play so much? Is that what you're asking? We're sitting there just like you. It's working pretty good. We erased a 4-point lead, and we're separating that game. We're going to ride them. Those wheels fall off. That's about what we did. We had to sub them a little bit. So I guess you're saying you like that.
Seemed to work for us.
Seemed to work. Perfect. We're going to do that more often. It'll work. But we did. We played them. I don't think we subbed anybody that first 8 minutes of the second half, did we? How many minutes was it before we subbed? Anybody know?
I think it was 12 something.
Before we subbed, 12 minutes on the clock, or we played 12 minutes?
Played 12.
So it was 8 minutes on that clock? Y'all sure about that?
It was 11 something.
Okay, well, there were some timeouts. We were able to rest a little bit. So I asked them a couple different times, you need to sub. I think I called a timeout once just to rest us. I liked our rhythm, liked where we was at. Sometimes, change is not always good. But it worked out tonight good for us.
Coach, this is a little off subject, but what did it mean to you as a coach personally to play such a spirited game on a day when the university honored the late, great Dwight Smith?
Yeah, we had that ceremony before the game, had an opportunity to meet all of his family again, and that whole bunch of coaches that are players that was on that team, the Clems and Chapmans and all those guys, and his brother and sister, and to be able to come out here today, and we wore the shirts before the game in honor of him, and to come out here and find a way to win a game with toughness. Evidently, that's who he was. That's what everybody says. That's what he was about, toughness. That was pretty special. We just had his family back in the locker room with us again. And his sister spoke to the team and took some pictures. So it is special.
Now tonight, E-Man led everybody in minutes. Looks like he's sort of stepping up to the challenge you guys put toward him to be more efficient in the score.
Well, that's what he's supposed to do. I mean, he's not doing anything now I didn't expect him to do. Now he's doing it. I think he's put 3 games in a row, back to back to back, and a big, tough physical game. That's why we didn't sub as much. And you trust him. I trust his toughness. I trust his experience. trust his experience in that kind of game. But he is playing very well for us right now.
Do you think that, obviously, they came into the game, they put pressure on Western's offense from the very beginning? I mean, and then they got those 2 technical fouls, and they still didn't back off after that. So what did you all do on offense just to keep the ball moving?
Well, I said at halftime, I don't know if we understood the toughness we were going to go up against, the pressure we was going to play against, defensively every possession. And it affected us early that game. I mean, they were going to let us run anything. I didn't think Dave had his quickness and explosion the first half neither. I didn't think he was as quick as he had been. But we said at halftime, now we know how they're going to play. We got the offense in front of us. Naturally, you got to get that ball moving some. We didn't run as many sets. We was able to get some more things on penetration and kick. But our guys stepped up to the challenge offensively and had some offensive toughness against that pressure. And, can you do it on the road for 20 minutes? They did. Key is, can you do it for 40 minutes? And I thought the key to the game at halftime was going to be who's got the biggest and strongest will those last 20 minutes. And I thought our guys did. And that's a compliment to all of them, because that team we just played is a really, really good, tough basketball team.
Just back to Dante, too. Is this the player that you kind of envisioned when you recruited him to this school? I know, obviously, he had some setbacks with having to sit out. And that probably put him behind a little.
Well, I mean, we believed in Dante. We didn't get a lot of opportunity to see him on film doing this, if that's what you're asking. So we didn't evaluate on film because, as you well know, he just didn't play much. But we knew that seeing him in high school, he had more to give. And again, it was hard on him setting those first 7 games. Those are some games you get some experience. His first game, he's eligible, we're on the road at South Carolina. And again, it's a 1-possession game. You can't experiment. Then you go right into league play. There's not much experimenting. But we knew with this team, we've been struggling making shots. And even without Luke now, even with Luke, we're struggling. Without him, we know we're really struggling. And we need him to make shots. And he's got a lot of confidence right now. But again, where I'm pleased with him at is he's got some confidence in doing other things, defending and rebounding. I think you'd have to look hard on any stat sheet see where he played back-to-back 30-plus minute games. I think he played 38 minutes the other night and 33 and a half tonight. In 2 games in a row, he got 14 rebounds. Those are huge stats. So those just gives him a lot of confidence. He's made some other plays. He's shown a little more ability to make some passes. So the more experience he gets, remember this, he hasn't played. He just hasn't played now. Even though he's a 4th-year player. Redshirted a year, 2 other years, just didn't play. So every minute he can play now, he's going to gain experience from it. And when you can play good, you gain just not experience, you gain confidence. And there's no question, I think he'd be a pretty confident guy right now.
Coach, 11 rebounds for DeMario. Usually the game that you all lost, most of them that day, the rebound numbers that didn't skew from very far away. What is it that you're exactly looking for him to continue to do for him to continue to be like this moving forward?
Continue to do just what he's done last 2 nights or 3 nights. 3 nights. Had 14 at Florida A&M rebounds. He had 14 against San Antonio Thursday night, and he has 11 tonight. When he's rebounding, he's playing hard. And he's had block shots. I think back-to-back 6. He didn't play but 20 minutes. Last game, got 6 blocks. Tonight, I think he gets 30 minutes, gets 6 blocks. So just being active in there. And that was a hard, physical game. We like to get him so when he gets that second foul, don't pick that 3rd one up. Be smart. And darn sure when you got that 3rd one, unless there's not many minutes left, just don't pick up that 4th foul. He's got to get better right there, because I don't like him sitting beside us over there. Jim.
Since you came back.
Jim, I'm feeling good. Referee's probably not glad to see me, so hey, I'm good. You know, it was hard being away. You missed a couple of press conferences I was at. It's hard being away, but I'm fine. Everything's good with me. Getting better every day, moving forward. So it's full speed ahead, as someone said. Who was that? Did you say that? Who wrote that? It was you? Full speed ahead. That's where it is.
Anything else, Coach?
You got another question? I know you got another one. You know basketball too well because you asked me too many questions last night. So go give me another one.
Well, just call me out then.
No,
Okay.
I won't embarrass you.
Sort of kind of back to my question that I asked before. You said that you all didn't run as many set plays on offense, but I feel like moving forward, you're going to have to run more of those set plays, especially against teams who are going to bring that pressure, and especially key on certain players in order to get other players open.
Sometimes when you're playing against teams who really dig in, try to pressure, and try to deny every pass, it's hard to run sets. You have to run more motion. Motion's a different kind of free movement, freelance, where there's a little bit more spacing. They don't know where the ball is supposed to go, and it allows you to get in that dribble some. Now, we run some sets, some different ones second half. You know, some things more off the bounce versus the pass quite as much. But we got in and off that bounce, and I don't know how many threes Dante makes second half. What did he make? A lot of those came out of motion. I think one of them came out on him, but it was motion most of the time. And that's the best way to play against pressure.
There's one more game this time, I'm saying against Middle Tennessee, a team you guys fell short against in Murfreesboro. You weren't at that game, but do you come in with a fresh scout, or do you know what to expect?
No, first off, as I've said many a time, our coaches, whether they won or lost, they did an unbelievable job. Coach Cunningham, those assistant coaches did an unbelievable job. Those players stepped up and played hard. They had some misfortunes and some tight, tough games. So, you know, for the most part, if I remember correctly, we were up down there at halftime, and if I remember, again, I didn't watch the game, so I know they made some threes. No, we'll look at it, and we'll see where they're at, what they've changed, and whatever adjustments that we got to do, we'll make with them. Seemed like they made a bunch of threes the second half down there, didn't they? Seemed like they made 7 or 8 threes the second half. So whatever adjustments we got to make, we'll make. I thought we were really good against San Antonio, running people off three-point line. Tonight, they made 4 out of their 5 threes the first half in zone. And remember, they came in shooting. They were 353rd in the country in three-pointers made. 353. So we wanted the zone. The first in the league off the bounce, dribbling that basketball, getting to the foul line. Keep J-Mo out of foul trouble, not knowing what Dave could do for sure. And they just jumped up and made some threes. A young man that made 4 the first half, he's a 25% three-point shooter. He's 4 at halftime. It happens. But can you do it for 40 minutes? He didn't make any second half. So, we good? All right, thank you guys.